Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Um, Alhamdulillah that I'm here. Please forgive me if uh, I had a very long day. So if I say anything wrong, just, I know we're all here, not judging anyone. So I would appreciate that. I wish we were meeting under different circumstances, um, but Alhamdulillah for the space that we have here, so we could all be here for each other and support each other in this very difficult time. Um, Everything that I wanted to say has already been shared. By Dr. Rania and Dr. Zahra, but I will share some stuff. I work with kids as well. I work with kids from ages 4, 5 to grade 5, and one thing that I wanted to emphasize is that, the kids look up to parents when it comes to emotional regulation. So you guys are the role model for your kids. They look up to you and see how you deal with your emotions, and that's how they learn to deal with their own emotions. So if we have, like, of course, this is such a difficult time, and we're all like almost glued to our TVs and phones, and whatever page you open, there's something that's very tragic, and it's we're human, and they are our own loved brothers and sisters, and for some of us could be very close family members. So it's very difficult for us as adults to be really not feeling those intense feelings that come with such, experiencing such major trauma. And kids look up to you. So how you deal with your emotions is how they will do it. And especially the very young ones, they don't like to see their parents sad. So what they will do is, if they see you not being able to deal with your own emotions, they will turn inwards. They're not going to talk about their own problems or issues. And a lot of the time, some of them may know about what is going on, some of them may not know, but then they will still see you, dealing with a lot of different emotions. And then they will hold on to whatever they have. And for these young, very young kids, a little thing that might look very trivial for us, it's a big, major thing for them. And then for them not to be able to come to their parent because they're so stressed out, and they're like, I don't want to go, I don't want to burden my parents any further, right? Then, then we have really suppressed their feeling. We have really taught them that, it's not okay for them to open up when they have difficult feelings. So as much as possible, as much as you can, focus on how to, on how to be grounded, how to be in the present, right? Try to limit your exposure to graphic content, to the media. And that would go the same with your kids that are, monitor what they're watching, what they're being told. Whether we like it or not, they're going to hear it from the outside. So why don't you be that source, right? Why don't you make that environment, create that environment for them where they can come to you? You can listen to them, validate their feelings, and also provide them with accurate information, because they are getting a lot of inaccurate information from media. You open Instagram, there's like, you're bombarded with these different things that are not accurate. And then they go to school, right? They go to school and they're exposed to a lot there. And a lot of them feel very isolated in school. It's very isolating. You probably feel it in your own workplaces where, our experiences are not validated. And so that really feel isolated. And for kids, that's like, when they don't have an outlet to safely discuss what they're feeling, it is, what they would do is they would suppress those feelings. And then a lot of the time, kids, they don't have the like, especially younger ones, the verbal articulation to come and talk to you and say, hey, this is what. They're just going to show you in different ways. So you might see changes in sleep patterns. You might see like behavioral issues. You have, like kids, because they want to have control. They want to have some sort of control in whatever is happening. So maybe they will start to say, I don't want to go to school. They might develop, like, all of a sudden, this anxiety. They cannot let go of parents. And then there's the also there's the fact that. So, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Welcome back. guys. As I was talking about ways to help kids feel validated and heard, um, I would emphasize to continue to maintain a routine, their normal routine, as much as possible, because that gives the kids a sense of control over the situation. And then, like I said before, limit their exposure to media. Sometimes maybe with the older ones, maybe you can watch the news together. That way you can control what they're watching, and also, correct any anything that's not factual. And other thing that I wanted to mention is that if your kid is old enough to learn about, if they have learned about other genocides at school, then it will be okay to have that conversation about this conflict about them and the history of that, and going, making it like as a almost like a research project where you go together with your child to, trusting sources to help them understand the situation better. The more they, it's clear for them, and the more that they understand, they can come to you when they have difficult emotions, the better they will be able to deal with the situation. Other thing is that, sometimes we're so worried that we're constantly, maybe it's family member, or we constantly look for the news, or we're constantly calling people to make sure that family members are okay, that, a lot of other symptoms may develop, and you can see in your youth that include like lack of sleep. They're having difficulty focusing and concentrating. They are having difficulty connecting with others. So in these cases, making sure that you, as much as you can, surround yourself with supporting people. So staying connected with your community. If there are kids, right, having that group, like play dates, whatever it is, where you have other people that are like-minded, that are supportive of your cause, and you get together with them and allowing them that atmosphere to be able to be themselves and not feel like they're being judged, not feel like what they're saying is wrong, and that, there's them against someone else, but they're all, we're all together, just like over here, we're here to support each other, creating that kind of atmosphere for our kids, so they feel validated, so they feel supported and not isolated. I know we are very tight on time, but one thing that I wanted to mention about very young ones, sometimes they don't understand, because they are so young, they don't understand how close they are to the conflict. So it's very important that, maybe that you make that clarification for them. For example, you can actually bring out a map, right? And then tell them, this is where we live, where we are, and this is where the location is. And for, and that could be, for us, it's not a big deal, but for young kids, it's about their safety. They want to feel safe. And if you are providing that for them, you're basically allowing them, giving them permission that to feel, it's okay to be afraid. And, staying away from phrases like, don't be sad, because sadness is a very normal reaction to what is going on around us. Or don't be afraid. These are emotions. Emotions, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have created, He has created these for a reason, and they're there for us to experience. So we want to make sure that as parents, we're allowing ourselves and our children to be able to express them in an adaptive way. And kids, they don't know how to, channel their feelings, but you can be that source for them. You can create that safety for them where, they can work through their feelings. You can do art together, create something together, go for walks together. Just sit down and sometimes just be with them, right? Listen to them without passing any judgment. Ask them open-ended questions, and try not to judge what they are saying and what they're bringing into the conversation. Let them lead basically the conversation. And just one other thing that, sometimes for some kids who are already stressed out or are dealing with other mental health issues, suicide could be a high risk at this time, because this is a very stressful situation, and this could be that one last thing that pushes them off the edge. So really being watchful and really being there for your kids and making sure that they feel validated, they are heard and supported. You can meditate together. You can go, like I said, go for walks together, color together, and just anything that would give them a sense that they're not alone. It's very, like, I sit down myself with my kids and we have like these big coloring pages and we just color. And I find it very, relieving, and it feels very calm and peaceful. We're not even talking sometimes and we're just coloring. And it's a big bonding thing too, right? We're bonding with them, and at the same time, we're letting them know that this is one safe way to express your feelings and emotions. Like I said, everyone has covered everything that I have said, but just be careful, be watchful. If you see that your kid is they're, like maybe they're regressing, like Dr. Rania said, maybe they're becoming more aggressive. If this is something that these changes have lasted more than 2 weeks, that this is where you need to be concerned, reach out to someone and, to their doctors or mental health clinicians, so that way they can get the support that they need as well. Just like all of us, we all need support. So I just want to make sure that you understand that there's no shame in seeking that help. Thank you.
And we're putting some resources in the WhatsApp and the chat box for either coloring books with children or books related to resources. And we'll also, in that guide that I was telling you about earlier, there's some links related to other resources for you and for them in terms of how to talk about Palestine. What is the history? What is the war? In case that they're trying to make sure that their facts are straight, and your facts are straight, inshallah ta'ala, in a time where there's a whole lot of misinformation and lack of correct facts. We'll send to Mona, inshallah.
And as I pass it on to Mona, I just want to add one last thing, that it's okay to tell your kids you don't know.
Yes.
It's totally fine. And that, I think, makes it more human and more, something that they can connect with.